Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, and I'm back again for another iOS Accessible Game Spotlight video. This time we are taking a look at a game called Grim Omens, and it's kind of similar to some games that you have played before. This developer has made a few other types of similar kind of RPG-esque kind of games. This one is vampire themed. And even though I do say this is an accessible game spotlight, I think there are some areas that do still need a little bit of work. I do have some recommendations, and I definitely know there are a few places where people are going to have trouble. Heck, I had trouble in a few different cases, and I'll point those out along the way. So I'm trying to remember what the other one that I know I covered at least one or two of these in the past. But once you see the sort of gameplay mechanics and screen layout, if you've played these types of games before, you'll recognize it immediately. And like I said, I've played a little bit into this. I've played a few levels into a dungeon, and it's fun. But there are, like I said, there's a few areas that are a little bit tricky still. So let's go into it and we'll take a look at it here.
Character, image, white text in front of a red background.
So we start out, we are in the interesting, okay, maybe I just don't have any audio in the, I thought we had music. But like I said, we're a vampire, we do quests, and we're going through dungeons. We're trying to take down, got like a couple of main quests. You get side quests. There are factions that you can align yourself with by either doing side quests or favors, or by basically paying them money or bribing them, whatever you want to call it. You have equipment and items, so you have weapons and armor and accessories and things like that. You can have a familiar, which I do have one. I did buy one of those. And then you have the, what do they call it?
Arcane Menagerie, Thrall Mansion, image, white text in front of a red Thrall Mansion.
The Thrall Mansion. So I haven't got one of those yet because I haven't been able to afford one. But basically, they're humans that you kind of just feed on, they're willing to, be your food essentially, and they will give you some sort of a perk. So at the top here.
City of Lightgate, Night 10.
City of Lightgate.
City. In-app purchases. In-app purchases.
So image. There are in-app purchases. This app also does have a remove ads item, so I can pay. I think it was like $3-4 or something, and you get rid of ads. So I did do that, A, again, to support the developer, and B, because I don't want ads interrupting my gameplay.
Gears.
Now, Gears, this is another one that's, like, you can tell what it is because it says Gears, but it should say settings. One thing I will say, let me go into the purchases, though, because I do want to show you, there are some things that are not labeled here. So I'm going to read this description.
While in-app products are not required to enjoy or beat the game, you may want to consider them if you find yourself outmatched, want to speed things up a notch, or just feel like rewarding the developer of the game for his effort. Thank you.
Right.
You really like the game and wish to support its development? You can do so by purchasing an optional item pack. Tap on item icons for more info. All purchase items are non-consumable and, once purchased, can be redeemed at any time.
So I like the fact that they say they're non-consumable. So, like, you're going to have them to keep them. And here's the problem, though. If I swipe...
Donors pack, Enforcer, minus 33%. A set of tier 3 items for Enforcer, $9.99, $14.99.
So they're currently on sale, which is nice. And there's a few different packs geared towards certain type of, like, character types that you might build. But if I flick to the right here...
Donors pack, Enforcer, image, and illustration of a sword on a red background. Image, and illustration of a red and silver armor against a red background. Image, and illustration of a red and white bird on a red background.
So these are not labeled items. I think this is just VoiceOver giving descriptions of these items. So I don't know, like, if I'm going to pay $10, I want to know exactly what I'm buying.
Image and illustration of a sword on a red background.
So if I double tap the sword, will it tell me? Okay, I
Screenshot.
guess it does tell me.
Bloodbound Axe.
Bloodbound
Hacking
axe.
weapon. Item tier 3. 3-8 DMG, 10% critical chance. Item 3-8 DMG, 10% critical
Okay,
chance.
3 to 8 damage. Okay, so at least you can flick to them and double tap. So this is your interface for when in the game, whenever you double tap on an item that you get or in the store, and when you're going to buy something, this is the screen that you get. So it tells you what it is. It tells you the rank of what it is. Is it a consumable? Is it a weapon? Is it a valuable? Whatever. And then you'll get a description.
The Bloodbound Axe, a towering symbol of brute strength and primal power, is wielded by the most fearsome of vampire warriors. Its large, double-bladed head is edged with ancient symbols that channel the essence of the bearer's blood to unleash devastating blows that can cleave through armor and bone alike. The creation of such a weapon used to be a rite of passage for scions of the House of Oberon in the ancient times, signifying their dismiss.
Okay, we'll dismiss.
Image and illustration
So
of a sword
yeah,
on a red
okay, at
background.
least I didn't know before, I didn't know if it would allow you to double tap on them. So even though they're not labeled, if you have the voiceover image descriptions turned on, you can kind of get an idea.
Image and illustration of a red and silver armor against a red
So
background.
let's see, what armor could I get with this?
Screenshot. Item tier, screen equipment, armor. Oberon champion armor. Plus 2 ARM, plus 10 health, plus 1 DMG.
Oh, okay, so it's a little bit better. I think I have plus 6 armor right now, I think is what I'm wearing, if I recall correctly. So you get your same thing. And also, if you swipe past, you can't do it here because obviously you're just looking at an item. But if you were in a shop or you're in your inventory, you'll have options after the description for dropping an item or buying or selling or equipping or using an item. So that's where you'll find it's kind of in the lower right. But if you flick past the item text description, that's where you'll find those sort of things that you can do to the item. So yeah, so it's not as bad as I thought because at least I can see what these things are. But yeah, if you want to support the developer, you can get rid of ads, and then you have, like I said, different.
Mystic, minus 33%.
There's your mystics, that's more your magical.
Image and illustrate donors pack. Vagrant, minus 33%.
Vagrant.
Image and image donors pack. Ironclad, minus 33%. A set of tier 3 items for Ironclad, $9.99, $14.99.
Okay, so that might be.
Image and illustration of a knife on a red background.
Is that more like your warrior
Screenshot,
type
giant
thing?
mace.
Oh.
Crushing weapon. Item tier 3. 460 MG, 15% stagger chance.
Oh, that's not really that. Yeah, I mean, I like stagger.
Item 460 MG, 15% stagger chance.
But.
Item 460 MG, 15% stagger chance.
Damage isn't all that hot.
Image
I
and
mean,
illustration
I
of a
guess
knife
it's
on a red
okay.
background.
I guess you make up for it with your chance of stagger. But let's get out of here. You can do the 2-finger scrub to go back most of the time in this, which is nice. Let's go into settings.
96% battery power. Notch. Settings. Image. A white settings. Image. A white Grim Omens. A tale of blood and darkness. Awakened blood child. Continue. Play. Settings. Settings.
Okay, so let's go to settings.
Screenshot. Settings. Character portrait. Illustrations. This is you. Image and font. Default. Alternative. Caps. Retro.
So you do have a few different font options.
Crimson. Midnight.
There's your themes.
Animation speed. Normal. Fast. Texture dungeon tiles. On. Off.
Now here's another thing. It tells me what my options are, but it doesn't tell me which ones are selected. So which theme is selected? It's bolded visually on the screen, but VoiceOver should tell you as I'm flicking to one of these items, and if I was on, it should tell me selected, on selected, off not selected, or even just telling me the one that is selected and saying nothing else for the one that isn't,
Off. On.
So on selected, off.
Music. 70% adjustable sound. 100% adjustable vibration. On. Off. Blood. On. Off. Compact combat UI. On. Off. Reset tutorials. Awaken blood child. Awaken to the back.
So we'll go back.
Grim Omens.
I don't know. I think I'm supposed to be hearing music, so let me go ahead and
Grim
let me
Omens.
exit this real quick.
Grim Omens. Closing Grim Omens.
So you can hear the
Overcast. Active. Grim Omens. Double tap to open. Awaken blood child. Awaken to the dark within. Awaken blood child. Awaken to the dark within. Ellipsis.
There we go. Now we got music.
Play. Awaken blood child. Play.
So that's okay
Alley
because
card,
I was
level 4
explaining some of the mechanics and some of the background, but now you'll get to hear.
A red book cover with white text and alley card. Level 4 rim. Image.
All right. So I'm a level
Blood moon
4.
rising. Say goes, the blood moon hangs above the horizon, red and intimidating, a round drop of blood staining the dark tapestry of the night sky. Every single vampire in Lithgate feels its presence, its crimson streaked face symbolizing the thrill of the hunt and the taste of sweet, warm blood. Sharp pangs of hunger wreck your entire being, as the dark stirs underneath the thin facade that is your sentient mind, howling in madness and rage, demanding its bloody toll. Ellipsis.
So I like the music in this game so far. It's really kind of catchy, and it fits the vibe pretty well.
Continue.
So now this is a good screen because it gives you the text, and then there's a continue button. However, one area where it's a little glitchy, and I even had some trouble, the tutorials. So you'll get a tutorial box, and then part of the interface low visually. Even for low vision, it's hard to see what it's actually pointing to because it's very tiny. And swiping to it doesn't always seem to work, and sometimes when you swipe to it, I forget what it says, but it'll kind of just say like image or IMG or something weird. And I find that if you double tap on that, it makes the tutorial message go away. There were a couple times where, like I said, even I was confused, and I actually just turned VoiceOver off and just started kind of tapping around the screen to make it go away. And in the bottom middle, there's always when you're doing a tutorial message, there's a skip tutorial button that says not recommended. So you don't really want to tap in the bottom middle necessarily, unless you want to skip the tutorials. But I think those could be cleaned up a little bit. Maybe have like an OK button or a close button or something that would be easy to explore by touch to or swipe to right next to the tutorial text, because it's a little So let's go continue.
Continue.
All right, so now we're on the screen that we were on before where we had no music or sound effects. So
City of Lightgate, night 10.
City of Lightgate.
In-app purchases, gears, settings, image, 9/59 1/1011. Arch window, 9/59 1/1011.
I'm not quite sure what that number is, to be honest with you.
9/59 1/1011. Arch window. Streets of Lithgate are bustling with people going about their nightly business. Ellipsis. Image. A screenshot of a video game with a character standing in front of a group of buildings. 19/59 1/10 event. Event. Image. White text in front of a purple background. Event.
Okay.
Blood moon rising.
Oh, that's the blood moon. Okay, yeah.
Continue. Dismiss.
Okay.
Continue.
So sometimes
Continue.
you'll have events, sometimes
Image.
you won't
White text
have
in front of a
events. It's kind of right at the bottom of the picture. In the top third of the screen or so, there is a picture just of like what's in the town. Below that, you have sort of a two-column grid.
Hangman in. Image. White text in
So
front of a
there's
red
your
background.
inn.
Hangman
That's
in.
where you can. You have a room there where you can store. You have a stash in your room. So if you don't want to sell something necessarily, but you want to hold on to it, you have a stash that you can do. You can buy like health all kinds of health and healing and different items, and you also can expand your inventory and different things. So if I go in here,
Hangman in. Image. White text in. The bartender is busy chatting with one of the tavern's patrons and hardly pays you any mind. Ellipsis. Available gold. 11. Image. White text in
so
front of
I
red-
just spent a whole bunch of money. That's why I don't have any gold right now.
Have a cup of red juice. Plus 25 blood.
So
for
red
25 gold,
juice,
9/59.
that'll replenish my blood.
Image. White text on a red background. Dave, expand inventory. Have a glass of Mind's tonic. Plus 2 sanity for 15 gold. 1/10.
Yep, sanity.
Image. Expand inventory. Plus 2 slots for 500 gold. 10/16.
That's
Image.
what I
White.
just bought for, I think it was 400. So
Expand stash. Plus 10 slots for
I
800
can make
gold.
the stash in my little room bigger, so that's cool.
Expand stash.
And
Plus
let's
10
go
slots for
back.
800 gold. 40 slots.
So before I go any further, again, there's so much to explain, and the tutorials will do this too, but you have your health, and of course, if you lose all of your health, you die. But you also have your blood and your sanity. So Your blood meter, if that drops to 0, you will also die because you have to feed as a vampire, whether that's drinking like a blood potion or whether that's feeding on a victim or what have you, or maybe you're using a spell that can regenerate some. And then your sanity is like certain things will happen that will either certain unknown enemies or events in the worlds, the dungeons, they will lower your sanity, and you won't die if you lose it, but basically you'll go berserk for a short period of time, and then you'll be kicked out of the dungeon. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, you just go stark raving mad, and then you kind of get yourself under control. So, I don't know, a little bit of RPG, a little bit of Eternal Darkness in here, in vampire form. So we have
Midnight Bazaar, image.
Midnight Bazaar, this is your store.
Midnight Bazaar, image.
Now, on the left-hand side, you have a picture here as well on the top of the screen. Below that,
Fiends. Inventory, 5/10 show menu, image, white text.
So your show menu, if I double tap on that, I can sort my items by different, like by item type or by value, or there's like 3 or 4 different things you can sort by. But again, this is where
shop 11 show. Fiend's Heart, red juice, 15 gold. Vampire blood.
Oops.
Fiend's Heart, 20. Fiend's Heart, red juice, 15 gold. Red juice, Shredder Mine, 20 gold. Shredder Mine, Vampire blood.
I guess it is going down, but I find it's handier to explore by touch and just slide my finger vertically down than it is to swipe. The other thing that's a little screwy here is sometimes, and I don't know what it is, it's not consistent, but like when you flick or swipe to the right, you may hear the same item twice, and then in this case, like whether it's your inventory or the store, you may think that there are 2 of them when there's actually not, because sometimes what'll happen is that like the little graphic to the left of, you'll hear that graphic item, and then you'll hear that item again where the actual text description is. So that can be a little bit confusing too. You kind of want to either unify that, it's always just one item, like the text and the graphic, or basically making it so that it's clear. I don't know what the exact right answer is for that. You could combine them, or you could just have the image, and it would tell you image of it, or to differentiate that you're looking at the same item instead of 2 separate items. So the left side is your current inventory that you're carrying. The right side is your store, and both of those are vertical lists. So I don't have any money to buy anything, so we're gonna back out to keep things moving.
White, the Night Court, hanged man, and the Night Court, image, white text.
The Night Court. This is another one that's a little screwy. So you have this grid. Okay, so you have your picture at the top.
Image and spells.
You have a spells, and I think that should say spells tab.
Skills.
And skills tab, because it's like a multi-page dialogue below here. So spells, if I double tap this is again, and it's not telling us that this is highlighted or not, so it should say spells selected, and then if I swipe over, skills, and if I were to double tap, it should say skills tab selected. So there's some VoiceOver clarity things that really could be done. It's usable, but it's a little finicky, and you have to figure it out. But the confusing part, even still to me, is so then you have a grid. I'm going to swipe again.
Blood, magic, dark powers, occult study 1. Blood surge, image, a red logo and a black.
So there's blood surge. I have that. I bought that at one point. Come on.
Another bolt, image, and illustration.
So I think that's an unlabeled image. That's why it's not saying anything. So again, they're doubling up. There's like an image and then a description, and sometimes they are and aren't labeled. It's a little inconsistent.
Nether bolt, image, and illustration of a purple and white
ghost. If I were to say I want to look at what this nether bolt is, I'm going to double tap it.
Nether bolt, image, and illustration of a purple and white animal.
And if I flick to the right again,
the Night Court, image, and the Night Court, image, and diagram.
It puts focus back at the top.
Back, image, and illustration of screenshot. Image, and illustrate spells. Skills, blood, 1. Blood. Magic Dark Powers Occult Studies Lunar Arcana Primal Rituals 1/211 Nether Bolt 0/5 360 NG -1 NES. RES stacks cooldown. 2 actions uses for combat. 5 blood cost. 1 conjure a dark bolt of foul energy and flaying it at an enemy, reducing its resistance to magic with each successive hit unlock. 200 gold.
Right, so it tells you the text that is below the grid, and there is an unlock button, but I'll be damned if I know how to get to it.
1. Blood surge.
Because if
Image.
I flick
Red logo and black
again,
back. Another bolt.
it's literally going to
Weakness.
take me
Image.
through the whole
Moonbeam.
table.
Image.
But if I explore by touch, the bottom, I would say, third of the screen, fourth of the screen, is that description that it was reading.
Blood. Magic Dark Powers Occult Studies Lunar Arcana Primal Rituals 1/211 Nether Bolt 0/5 360 NG -1 NES. RES stacks cooldown. 2 actions uses for combat. 5
See,
blood cost.
sometimes it reads it and sometimes it doesn't. And if I...
Blood. Magic Dark Powers Occult Studies Lunar Arcana Primal Rituals 1/1. Blood surge. Blood. Magic Dark Powers Occult Studies Lunar. Blood. Magic Dark Powers Occult Studies.
Now, it's maybe because I can't afford it right now, but usually there's like an unlock button. And it's just like this screen just seems really clunky. And I'm wondering, you know, like where you're saying where you have the tabs, if those were headings as well, like actual, I don't know how this is coded, but then you could actually use VoiceOver, like heading navigation, to jump between different sections of the screen, because really an elegant way to past the grid and just, if I touch a certain part of the screen, especially as a low vision user, yes, I'm using VoiceOver, but I also want to be, like, when I touch something, I want whatever's under my finger to be red and not just some giant, like, you see how the selection is the entire screen, essentially?
Blood. Magic Dark Powers
So
Occult Studies.
it's a little weird. So that's
The Night Court. Image.
that's where
White
you
text in
unlock
front of
your
it.
skills and your spells. I have one of each so far.
Alchemy Workshop. Image. White text in front of
Alchemy,
red
I'm not
background.
going to go in there because it's kind of the same thing. I haven't done anything with brewing potions or anything.
Arcane Menagerie. Image. White text in
Arcane
front of red
Menagerie,
background.
this
Arcane
is where
Menagerie.
you get your familiar, your pet.
Arcane Menagerie. Image. White text.
And I bought one, and as far as I know, I think that I have equipped it. Like, I don't know if there's a way to use it, like if it's automatically used in battle or how to trigger it, because
Slayer. Text field. Image.
I named
Illustration.
him Slayer. I got this like wolf
Slayer.
thing.
Replace. Dismiss. Inventory. /stash. Available gold.
What?
Image. Death Hound. Level 110
Oh, it's a
150
Death
Dread
Hound,
Howl.
yeah.
12% chance to reduce armor of the attacking enemy by 2 next level. 14.
So again, flicking to the right, it seemed to skip. It went from the name and then it skipped all the way down to the inventory. And it wants to show your inventory on the bottom of the screen because if you get certain food, you can feed it to your pet to level it up and basically increase its power or attributes. The problem here is
Image. And illustration of a bottle with a image. And illustration of a brain in front of a red background. Image. And illustration of a bottle with a image. And illustration of a black map.
when I'm in my inventory screen, for me, it'll read what these items are. But on your pet screen, your familiars screen, it does not read what these items are at all. So these, again, so if I go into my, let me go back.
Arcane Menagerie. Character. Image.
If
white
this
text
is
in
on my
front of a
main
red
screen here,
background.
the character screen,
Image. White text.
and
Image.
now look
White
at
logo.
this.
And Fiend's Heart. Image. Red Juice. Image. Shredder Mine. Image. Vampire Blood. Lizard Tail. Image.
So
and
those are
illustration.
those same items that was in my inventory when I was looking at my familiars screen. They read in my inventory, but they don't read on that familiar screen. So again, it's a good start, but there's stuff that really needs to be cleaned up a bit. So since I'm on my character screen, at the top,
Alucard. Text field.
Alucard,
Double tap to add level. 4x. Diagram. Back. Image. Items. Stats. Abilities. Perks.
so again, those are tabs, and it's not telling me which one is selected at the time. It should tell me which one is highlighted/selected.
Weapon. Short sword. Image.
So I got a
sword
short
next to white
sword
text on a
as
red
my
background.
primary
Red
weapon.
Offhand.
I don't have anything offhand yet.
Weapon 2.
Don't have anything in weapon 2 yet.
Armor. Leather armor. Image. White
I
text
got
next to an
leather
illustration of a
armor
person wearing
on.
accessory. Misfit boots.
Got
Image.
some
White text in
boots.
front. Trinket.
And I don't have any trinkets. And then we go to our inventory. So
Character,
there
image.
are a few other... Oh, heck, let's do...
Arcane Menagerie, image. Immortal Council, image.
So
White
Immortal
text in front
Council, factions,
of Thrall Mansion, Blood Pit,
Thrall
Thrall
Mansion, I don't have any money, but that's where you, again, you're hiring the people.
Blood Pit, image. White text
Blood
in
Pit,
front of
let's
a red
go in here
background.
so you can
Blood
see
Pit,
some
Blood Pit,
combat.
image. White text in front of a red background. Blood Pit.
Oh,
You are done with the Blood Pit.
okay,
for the
right,
night.
because I did that right before I last saved, so I can't do that right now. All right, let's go to our world
Blood
map.
Pit, image. White text. Proceed to world map, image. Proceed to world map, image. Image. An illustration of a white letter on a red background.
All right, so our world map, there's a journal as well that keeps track of your objectives and stuff on that previous main screen. But
Lightgate, image. White text in
Lightgate
front
is
of a
where
grid.
we were. That's where all of our town stuff is.
HI, caravan, dark, defile, HI, caravan, image.
So
Avoid red poster
caravans,
with
they
text and an
will
illustration of
appear
a
randomly, and you can buy stuff from them, but I don't have any money, so I'm not even going to bother.
dark black marsh, image. White text in front
Black
of a
Marsh is the only real dungeon that I can go to right now.
black marsh,
'Cause I'm working
image.
on a
White text in front of a
quest.
gray background. Black marsh. Devastated by alchemical waste and beset by all manner of dangerous creatures, the marsh west of Litgate is a harsh place where only the toughest can survive, let alone thrive. Challenge.
Now,
Fledgling. Dungeon level reached.
it says dungeon level reached, and there is a number to the right of that, but it does not, VoiceOver does not tell me what that number is, so...
Enter dungeon.
I'm not trying to pick on your game. I really, really like it. Like, if the developer watches this, I'm not trying to pick on your game. I'm just trying to tell people, like, these are some of the weird quirks that you sort of have to work around currently. Again, there could be an update, and he may know about some of these things already. But I hope this video does help the developer just kind of show how VoiceOver, not only VoiceOver reads things, but especially, you know, for blind users, but also for low vision users like myself who don't necessarily or can't always read the text themselves, but I can see that there are things on the screen and roughly where they are. So when I tap something, you know, if I touch something specifically on the screen, I want to be able to have that thing read and not have to figure out how I have to touch somewhere else and then flick to go to something. So let's go ahead.
Enter dungeon.
Enter
White
dungeon.
enter dungeon. Image. White text in front of a red
So
background.
now we're going to get
Dark
into
enter dungeon.
gameplay.
Illustrations.
One thing that would be nice is when you enter the dungeon for the first time, is maybe have it announce what coordinate the grid you're on. Because in the upper left it starts at square 1.
Tile 2. Tile 1.
So tile 1,
Tile 2. Tile 3. Tile 5. Tile 6. Tile 7.
and it's all the way up to tile 7. And none of them say anything because they are empty. Or are they? And it may depend on the speech engine, the voice that I'm using too. But if you have some vision, you can see that some of these little tiles actually shimmer. They kind of flash shimmer. And it sounds like sometimes I can tell and sometimes I can't, where it almost sounds like it's saying the tile 2, tile 2, tile 2. Like it almost has like it's asking a question if the thing is highlighted. Again, that's something that it should say, like if I'm swiping.
Tile 6. Tile 5. Tile 4. Tile 3.
You see how it says tile 3,
Tile 2.
tile 2,
Tile 3.
tile 3,
Tile 4.
tile 4? It's an interesting, really kind of weird do it. So pitch like that means there's something there. But I think it could be, you know, you could just have like it should probably say a word instead, you know, because again, maybe people have hearing impairment too and can't hear that pitch change inflection. So I mean, it doesn't have to be long, because it's not necessarily going to be a battle. It could be a random event. I'm just trying to think. Like interactable. You could say tile 3, and then tile 2, tile 3, and then tile 4 interactable, tile 5 interactable, tile 6, and because it would just say the tile number, there's nothing there. But I am actually at
tile 19. You are here. Image and illustration of the person
see,
with red hair.
that's really nice. Tile
19. You are here. Image.
Tile 19. You are here. And so when you first enter a dungeon, I think it should tell me that it should just say, because you will appear randomly every time you go into a dungeon level. Everything is randomized. So I could start in the lower left, the upper right, in the middle. And when you enter a dungeon, it should say you are at, and then you'll know, oh, okay, that's where I am, rather than trying to figure out where you are. Because in order to move, you can only move to adjacent tiles, up, down, left, or right. And no, you can't do diagonal up, down, left, or right. You have to go in the cardinal 4 directions. I tried the diagonal just to see. So, again, you're really going to have to listen for, right now, that sort of question. In order to tell if there's something there, or if you have some usable vision, you can kind of see which tiles are flashing. So,
tile 18. Tile 17.
So tile 17, it sounds like there's something there. So I'm going to go to tile 18, because that's where I have to go.
Illustrations. Tile 17.
Okay, that little noise means I got an event.
A place of the old signs. Image. As you navigate the winding path ahead of you, a bizarre structure emerges from the mist. The ruins of a laboratory, its architecture strange and foreboding, stand before you, a remnant of the dwellers' presence in this land. Its walls, marred by time and covered in creeping vines, speak of a bygone era when the old science, a blend of grotesque experiments and unsurpassed knowledge of the dark, thrived, producing fiends and other monstrosities to wage war on the world. Curiosity piqued, you step into the shadow of the crumbling edifice, confronted by the remnants of the dwellers' vile ambition. Shattered vials litter the ground, and rows of bizarre-looking instruments adorn the rusty metallic walls, each piece a puzzle of the laboratory's sinister purpose.
Okay, so now I've got a couple choices.
Search the ground, 60%. Image, search the instruments, 55%. Operate the instruments, 60%. Search the ground, 60%. Image, white text on red background. Search the ground, 60%. Search the instruments, 55%. Image,
let's do
white text
that
on red
this
background.
time.
Search the instruments, 55%.
Oh.
Image, white text on red background. Search the instruments. Intrigued by the complex array of instruments, you focus your attention on a particularly intricate device, a large vat filled with noxious liquid, malformed bones floating in its depths. With a sense of anticipation, you manipulate the device, seeking to unlock its secrets. However, your ineptine current triggers a trap, releasing a cloud of noxious gas as a final safeguard against intruders.
Oh no!
You recoil, coughing and gasping for air as the cloud dissipates, a painful reminder of the dangers of tampering with the unknown. Plus 4 poison damage. Image, white text on
Oh,
logo
that's
red background.
bad.
Intrigued by the leave. Image, white text on red leave.
Okay,
Image,
well
white
that was
text
a
on red.
bust. I should have just explored. I should have known better. But yeah, so you'll have events. Sometimes you get positive or negative consequences. And one thing I forgot to mention just as I was going into this interactable here. Back on tile 19.
Tile 19, retreat dungeon, image, and illustration.
So if things are going really bad, I can retreat out of the dungeon. Now below the grid, you have your character items and stats. So you have a row of items that you can use.
Red juice, image, shredder mine, vampire blood, lizard tail, 5 hunger points, image, 72/72.
So 72 out of 72.
Health, image, and illustration of a white symbol on a red background.
And that's your health. I don't know why it says the number and then because the health visual is on the left, but it says the number first and then what it is.
4. 7/59.
7/59. Ouch.
Blood, image, and illustration of a
Okay,
face on a
my
red frame.
blood is really low.
1/10. Sanity, image, and illustration of a smiling face.
Okay, so I actually went into this dungeon really bad.
244/525.
And that's my
And illustration of a white star against a red background.
experience.
Image, and illustration of a white star against a red
So
background.
I'm not going to last very long. We'll see if I go insane first or lose all my blood first. Because since my sanity is already so low, I'm not going to waste a blood vial. We'll just explore.
Tile 16. Tile 16. Tile 23. You found Ring of Minor Endurance.
Oh, okay.
Tile 30. Tile 30. Illustration Tile 31. As you traverse the damp pathways of the Black Marsh, a figure cloaked in shadow emerges from the fog. Her features are veiled, but her eyes betray a sense of desperation. My immortal lord, she implores, I need but a single drop of your blood to cure my ailing child. Her words draw you in, but the shiver down your spine suggests there's more to this plea than meets the eye.
So, I haven't had this go bad yet.
Give her your blood, 70%.
But
Image,
I've
white
done
text
it.
on red background. Give her your blood, 70%.
I don't have
Give her
any
your
blood anyway,
70%.
so we'll
Image,
just kill
white text on
myself,
red background.
basically.
Give her your blood, 70%.
Let's see what
After you
happens.
generously accept her request, the woman reveals her true intentions. She is actually a marsh witch and needs your blood as a last ingredient for a sacred ritual. Out of gratitude for your generosity, she promises to impart a portion of her spell's power to ease your passage through the swamp. As the time passes, you realize you've been tricked. Either that, or your blood simply wasn't potent enough for the purpose. -5 blood. Image. A group of white text against red background.
Cool.
Leave. Image. White. Leave. Image. White
And
text on
now
red
my
background.
blood
Leave.
is
0/59. Health. Image. 0/15 blood. Image. An illustration of a face in a red frame. 1/10.
Oh, I thought see, that's interesting.
Tile 32. A screenshot of a video.
Now,
game
I
with
have no
illustrations of monsters.
blood.
3 question marks. 3 question marks.
Okay, so here's your battle screen. I know it's
1,
been
10.
forever. We haven't gotten into a battle yet. So on the top of the screen, you have your icons for any enemies that you are fighting.
3 question marks. Slash.
So in this case,
An
I have
illustration of a creature with blue
question
eyes. Image.
marks.
3 question marks. Slash.
But normally it would tell you, like, you know, lizard or, you know, whatever thing I was fighting. But I've been getting a lot more question marks recently. Now, if I double tap on one of these,
3 question
because they're question marks, it's not going to give me any information yet. But if it was something that it knew, it would tell me, it would give me a description of the creature or the enemy. It would tell me the attributes, any unique abilities that it has, that type of thing. But you don't double tap on those to attack. Instead, you have this big open area below them.
Attack Walking Dead.
Okay, so below that, apparently it says it's a Walking Dead. And the other one
Attack Walking Dead.
is a Walking Dead as well. But on top it says question mark. So I can either double tap these, or I can even take 3 fingers to swipe up to do a attack gesture. So let's just, it doesn't really matter, let's just attack.
3 question marks. Slash. Image. An illustration of a creature with blue eyes.
Oh, you're
2.
not going to tell me the...
Attack Walking Dead. Attack
You're
Walking
being
Dead.
really mean.
3 combat screen. Image. A screen. The madness takes over your conscious mind. Ellipsis. You roam the countryside like a feral beast for a time, until finally finding your way back to Litgate.
Yep, because I didn't have any blood, and things went really badly. So let's go to the world map again, because I
Proceed to
should...
world map. Image. White. Proceed to world map.
I
Image.
should be
White text in front of a
regenerated
brown
now,
background.
pretty
An
much.
illustration of a white letter. Black. Marsh. Image. White
Let's
text.
go to
black,
another
marsh,
black
image.
marsh.
Diesel. Enter dungeon. Image. White text. Enter dungeon. Image. White text in front of a red background. Star X. Enter dungeon. Illustrations.
Ooh, I still don't have a lot of
5/10.
blood.
15/59.
So...
An illustration of a black object with red juice. Image. An illustration of a bottle with a red liquid. Screenshot. Screenshot. Red juice. Consumable. Blood. Item tier 2. Plus 25 blood. Using a complex mixture of herbs and minerals to prevent it from going stale, learn caretakers bottle the blood of mortals for later consumption of their drop. Use. Use.
There we
line.
go.
Image 72/72.
Now my blood is full. I won't go be a savage psychopath. Now I just have to worry about my sanity. And my
Shredder line.
health is
Image
full.
72/72. 372 health. Image 40/59. Blood. Image a red and white logo.
Okay,
and a black
40 out
background.
of 59. That's acceptable. Okay, so now, this time when I enter the dungeon...
Tile 9. You are here. Image.
So again, when I enter the dungeon, please tell me what tile my character is at. Otherwise I have to just flick, 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 or just randomly move my finger around until I find it. There's an area right above me.
Tile 3.
Okay,
Combat
so now
screen.
that I
Image.
have
A screenshot
better
of a video game
health,
with a group of characters. Rebel
I
militia.
can try to
3 question.
explain this battle screen without going insane. So,
Rebel militia 25/25.
Rebel
Image.
militia.
An illustration of a 3 question marks. Slash. Rebel militia 25/25.
So I've got a
Image.
question
An
mark and
illustration of a
2
person with
Rebel
text.
militia.
Rebel militia 25/25.
If I double tap on the
Image.
Rebel militia,
Rebel militia. Human health 25, damage 2, 3, critical 12%, poison rees. 0% debuff rees. 0% armor 1 spell rees. 0 evasion 0% bleeding rees. 0% experience and take cover. Increases armor. Grants immunity to critical hits and prevents feeding after centuries of silent unrest and grudging acceptance. The human population of Nocturnia finally rebelled against their vampire overlords. With the emergence of the Cabal and the general state of turmoil caused by the Night Weaver's long absence from the court, peasants and craftsmen of Lithgate took arms against the weak and immortal council. After a few bloody skirmishes with the
so blah blah blah. The key important thing is it tells you some of their is what it says res or res. That's resistance. They're resistant to certain types of elemental or different types of attacks, so they're resistant to that. So let's go scrub. We'll back out.
Rebel militia 25/20. Attack rebel militia.
So I can attack. And then when I'm in a battle screen here, my bottom part of the interface is a little bit different still.
Combat screen. Image. Rebel militia 25/25. Spells. Image. And
So
illustration
there's
of right hand in front of a brown
these are tabs again. They could probably be called tabs, like spell tab,
skills.
Skills tab. And again, tell me which one is selected.
Spells. Image. And illustration of
As
right hand in
I
front
know
of a
that
brown
my
background.
spells
3/3 blood. Surge. Blood surge.
So 3 out of 3 blood surge. That is that ability that I have equipped that I bought.
Spells. Image.
And I know that's a spell, but again, VoiceOver does not tell me that my spells tab is highlighted or selected.
Skills.
Skills. I have that. I have a poison ability, and they will use. They will use or a certain amount of blood, and that's why you want to keep your blood supply up. So it's almost like your mana in a way.
Skills. Image. A white logo on a black background. Items. Skills. Image. Items.
Items. That's where I can use my potions or whatever.
Items. Image. Defend.
Defend.
Defend. Image. Retreat.
And retreat, and you may or may not succeed at that. I've actually failed to retreat one time, and then I got murdered anyway. So let's go ahead and attack. And now I don't see anywhere in here about my familiar that I have. So either I don't have it equipped, or I don't know how to use it.
Image and illustration of a person with red hair and red eyes. 5/10. Image and spells. Spell. Image. 5/39/72. Swap weapons. Image and illustration of a sword on a red.
So I could swap weapons if I had another secondary weapon equipped.
72/72.
So again, it's telling me 72 out of 72. That's my health, but it doesn't say that. It should say health 72 out of 72.
39/59.
39 out of 59. That's my blood. It should say blood, blah, blah, blah.
5/10.
That is my, it should say sanity 5 out of 10.
Image and illustration of a person with red hair and red eyes.
And now it randomly jumped again.
Spells. Skills. Image. A white logo on a black background.
No.
Combat screen. Image. A screenshot of a...
So, all right, like I said, you'll have to experiment with it. I've kind of explained the current state of things for you. You can figure it out, but in its current form, there are some things that are confusing. And the one other thing that is confusing, like let's say that I want to, I just unlocked this this skill.
Skills.
If I go to skills,
apply venom. Image and illustration of a white silhouette of a person.
Apply venom. Now if I double tap this,
to use a skill, perform the required gesture in the attack zone below the enemy portrait. Long press the icon for more information.
So long press the icon for more information, so I could double tap and hold. Problem is, when I double tap and hold, text comes up, but when I try to swipe to it or explore by touch to read that text, it disappears. So I have no idea what gesture I need to do in order to apply this poison. I have no clue. So if I double tap, let me double tap this and make it go away.
To use a skill, perform 3 slash reapplied.
Now I'm
apply
gonna,
venom. Plus 3 poison DMG.
so I'm gonna double tap and hold.
Venom, apply venom. Plus 3 poison DMG per turn minus 15% poison reads. Long press to infuse your attack with a deadly poison, dealing persistent poison damage and reducing enemies' poison resistance.
So if you saw visually, text appeared there, but I don't think I applied it.
3 slash reapplied. Venom, apply venom.
No.
Plus 3 poison DMG per turn minus 15% poison reads. Long press to infuse your attack with a deadly poison, dealing persistent poison damage and reducing enemies' poison resistance.
And if I let go,
skills, image, white text in
it
front
disappears.
3 slash reapplied. Venom.
So I essentially bought a skill that I can't use as a voiceover user. And that sucks, because I would love to poison my weapon and hurt these enemies more than I am. So
attack rebel militia.
Attack rebel militia. I guess I'll double tap that.
Attack rebel militia.
And now I will slide my finger up.
Rebel militia, 20 slash 25. Image.
Okay, so I hit him for 5.
Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. Rebel militia, 15 slash 25. Attack rebel militia.
Got him for another 5.
39 slash 59. 66 slash 72.
Okay, I lost a little bit of health.
Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia.
So there doesn't seem to be any like combat log. Like you just sort of have to explore, regularly explore your stats and see if you lost health, or like if I got poisoned, I don't know how to check that. And again, maybe there's things that I'm missing. Like I've done a lot of swiping, flicking, I've done some explore by touch, and so it's entirely possible that I'm missing things here, but I would say if I'm having trouble and I'm missing some of these things, then other people likely are as well.
Attack rebel militia. Rebel militia, 8 slash 25. Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. Rebel militia, 0 slash 25. Image.
Okay, so 025, you get a graphic of a gravestone, and that critter is dead.
Combat screen. Image. A screenshot of a video game. Items. Combat screen. Image. Attack rebel militia.
No.
39 slash 59. 58 slash 72.
Okay, so
attack rebel militia.
Let's attack him.
Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. 3 question marks. Slash.
So he's still question marks.
Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. Attack 3 question marks. Slash. Image. A white logo on a red background. Illy. Illy.
Oh, interesting.
Rebel 3 question marks. Slash. Image. A white logo on a red background. Illy. Illy.
Okay, I don't think I've encountered this little problem yet. It still tells me 3 question marks. But actually, graphically, I see the picture of the gravestone.
Rebel militia 0 slash 25 image. White
but the one that didn't have, see the one over here that where I killed him and I didn't have the question marks for that enemy, it told me 0 out of 25. So I could still try to attack.
3 question marks. Slash. Image. A white logo on a red background.
I could still try to attack him and I wouldn't know that he's dead.
Attack rebel militia.
Oh, that's interesting.
Attack rebel militia. Rebel militia. 25 slash 25.
25 out of 25.
Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia. Rebel militia. 22. Attack rebel militia. Attack rebel militia.
Okay, what is my health?
Combat screen. Image. A combat screen. Items. Skills. Image. A white logo. Skills. Spells. Spells. Image. 5 slash 10. 39 slash 48 slash swap weapons. Image. 48 slash 72.
And if you're exploring by touch, you have to really touch exactly where the numbers are. Like I can't just vaguely touch as long as I'm on the line where the colored line where the information is.
Combat
if I were to
screen.
touch kind of over to the left,
attack rebel combat screen. Image.
It just says combat screen. So you have to be very, very precise if you want to explore by touch. Like, why couldn't the entire bar, and you've got a red bar for this, a blue bar for that, and a yellow bar for whatever. Like the whole bar, as long as I touch that bar, it should tell me the stat of that item. not just that tiny, tiny little bit of text. Because even visually, that text is really small.
39/59, 48/72, combat screen, image, a screenshot of a video game with text.
And even looking at it, you know, I can be slightly off and not touch it exactly, and then you just have to flick and swipe. So, let's see.
Attack Rebel Militia. Attack Rebel Militia.
Let's fight
Attack
this
Rebel
guy.
Militia. Attack Rebel Militia. Attack Rebel Militia. Attack Rebel Militia. Attack Rebel Militia. Rebel Militia. 7/25.
Okay, so apparently he's low enough, but I was waiting to be certain enemies, if you get them really low to where the next attack will likely kill them, there will be like a little heart that will appear. And I think you should have an audio cue to when that is available, or VoiceOver should tell you that that is available. Because we can see that it's there, but unless I really flick around, I might overlook that. And what's nice about that heart is you can feed. So I can regain some health or blood if I get my, you know, it's kind of, think of it like a finishing move. I weaken him enough, and then I can feast. You know, I can feed on him. So that's cool, but apparently I can't feed on this guy.
Militia. Attack Rebel Militia.
Oh, he's still not dead, you punk.
Attack Rebel Militia. Attack Rebel Militia.
And now you're dead.
Victory. Gold. Image. Experience. Image. Gold. 18. X. 30.
So you, again, this is part where you have the graphic.
Gold. Image. Experience. Image. A white dog.
Gold, and then experience. Those are the two
down
graphics. And then the actual values.
Gold. 18. X. 30.
You know, I would almost say that you could, in this case, you would either want to combine the graphic and the text into one swipeable or selectable icon, pair them together, which would be probably the ultimate way to do it. Or you could just hide the hide the graphics for VoiceOver so that VoiceOver doesn't really have to care about them. Because I just want to know how much gold did I get, like gold 25, experience 12, whatever. Because again, you have two separate entities, two separate controls for the same item.
Regner's Hunger. Regner's Hunger. Image. Inventory slots occupied. Regner's Hunger. Image. And
So
illustration
what
of
is
the skeleton
that?
Screenshot. Regner's Hunger. Consumable. Other. Item tier 3. Restores 1 hunger point, plus 25% feeding efficiency.
Ah.
Regner Dustblade was a crafty scion of House Sagrava who liked to dabble in obscure aspects of alchemy. Dismayed with Sagrava's reputation as most reserved and human-like of noble houses, Regner set out to concoct Regner's Hunger.
So...
Continue.
Continue is in the bottom middle of the screen.
Continue.
And now we're back on the dungeon map. So I think I've decided, when I started this video, I called it an accessible game spotlight. But I think what I'm going to do is, like, the longer I play this and the more mechanics that get introduced to me, the more little cracks I'm finding. Because when I started this, I didn't really have much of a problem. But like I said, as I'm encountering these weird question mark enemies, as I'm uncovering, you know, I bought a familiar, I bought a skill that I don't know how to use because I can't just double tap it to do it. I have to do the gesture, but I don't know what that gesture is. You know, I don't know what items I can feed to my familiar because on that screen, the things aren't labeled. So there's a lot of little things, like, and again, like I said, I'm not trying to pick on the game, but I'm going to put this under probably the game accessibility playlist, because again, what I'm essentially doing here, I keep going back to that Diablo 4 stress test when I was kind of taking notes and explaining what worked well, what didn't work well, ideas for improving what wasn't working. And that's really what I'm doing here because I don't feel comfortable enough putting this out as an accessible game spotlight. Because if you don't have some usable vision, navigating some of this could kind of be a pain in the rectum. You know, it can be a bit difficult. So, like I said, like I said, I hope that the developer is working with other blind players. I just downloaded this a few days ago, and I just started playing it literally earlier today. Before recording this video, I put probably a good over an hour into it before recording this. So, yeah, this is a game accessibility video, and it could kind of showcase how I am explaining what doesn't work. And again, if the developer sees this, again, it's a cool game. I love like how deep it is. You have all these places in town, you have factions, you have familiars, you have skills and spells. Let me go ahead and get out of this here real quick here. You have skills, you have spells, you have familiars, you've got quests, side quest, factions, you have dungeons, dungeon lair, random dungeon floors layouts. You have random encounters. You can get ambushed. You have key places on the map that you want to explore in each dungeon floor. You have I've come across a couple of bosses. I came very close to beating a couple of them, but then I got murdered at the end, or I ran out of blood, one of the two. So like I said, the gameplay is solid. I think there's a lot of little things that can kind of make it frustrating. And like I said, I can get around some of those because I can see some, even if I can't read it, I can kind of point at it and go, okay, that's what that's supposed to be. Whereas if you were a totally blind player, I think you would have a little bit more trouble. And so I still I fully encourage people to support the game, but also to, reach out to the developer, go to the App Store page and look at what the developer's website is. And, I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to look at like what the website is, see if there's any email address. I might even try to look in the app and see under help. I don't remember seeing anything about bug reports or contact info because, or no, I think there might, maybe in the bottom, I think there was some sort of thing where he's like, if there's a problem with the app, please reach out and I'll do what I can. The developer seems really open to, making the app as good as it can be, as accessible as it can be. And like I said, I wasn't, the longer I went on in that video, it felt like I was kind of just like, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, or this is weird, that's weird. But it really wasn't. Like I said, it actually was probably closer to 2 hours, I bet, that I played this so far. And I really wanted to do a video for it because, again, with the vision that I did have, I was able to pretty much play through the game quite well. Yes, I was kind of using my vision to look at the grid in the dungeon, and to quickly, explore by touch to get to things a little faster than swiping. But the only thing that I couldn't figure out how to do that I still don't know how to do is I don't know how to do that gesture for that spell. Because when I double tap and hold, which is the long press equivalent, it just doesn't work. So, like I said, I was having a good old time. I was actually really enjoying the exploring the floor. What am I on, like floor 6 or 7 or somewhere in there of the dungeon? I've bought a couple spells. I've expanded my inventory. I've got stuff in my stash at my little home. I've, I think I
Elder
bought
myth.
I bought, like I said, I got some armor, I got a weapon. So I've been playing it quite a bit, and like I said, with the vision that I have, I could largely continue to play it, but I just don't think that I can be as effective as I should be because I don't know how to do that skill that I equipped. And I remember it also saying during the tutorial, so you can either, like I said, you can either tap and double tap when it says like attack dire wolf or attack whatever, or you can, touch that and then you can swipe up with three fingers, and that seems to also work. They mentioned another way, like where you can do attack and an attack that will attack everybody, but like at a lesser damage. So like instead of doing 8 damage to one enemy, you could do 4 damage to two enemies or whatever if you had two enemies in front of you. And I don't remember what that gesture, or I don't know what that voiceover gesture was. So that, again, that's another, if I wanted to use that strategically, it's another thing that I just don't know how to do. So yeah, I know the beginning of this video is going to say an accessible game spotlight, but when I release it, I'll put it in the description as well. But when I post this on Twitter and I post this on Blue Sky, I'm going to put this under game accessibility because I still want to show this game to people. And if the developer does happen to see it, I hope that this was helpful. Again, I'm not trying to knock your game. I'm not trying to diss it. I was not doing any beta testing or anything like this. Again, I just started playing this earlier today. So, this has just kind of been my experience. And I have a lot of experience, beta testing, troubleshooting, these types of things. That's what you do as an advocate and consultant. So,
Elder
for
myth.
accessibility. So, I hope that not only by, like writing this in like an email, but also I think by showing it in action, it's one thing to write things in an email, which can be still super helpful, but also if you are demonstrating it and go, oh, see what happens when I flick here, or see what happens when I touch this area, it freaks out and it does, it does this, or oh, this isn't reading. And if the developer sees that, or the tech support, if this was a computer program and I was submitting something for tech support, I find that really, really helps both the developer and anyone trying to fix or troubleshoot or properly report internally the feedback. So I know this was a long one and I didn't get into a ton of combat, a ton of dungeon exploration, but I wanted to go through a bit of the interface. And again, it has lots of potential. I genuinely hope that some of these voiceover fixes do get tweaked a bit. Um, because yes, there's a lot of potential here, but I think currently there is a fair bit of inconsistency and a bit of frustration that people may encounter. So I hope this video was helpful to everybody. Give it a like if you did. You can follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, Blue Sky at Illegally Cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.